Welcome back, everyone. I am, of course, Calibus Rand, better known as Caliph, son of Kolar, and with me, of course, is the Admiral, Admiral Xena. We are the Admiral and the Klingons, and today we have a special treat. We have some friends that are actually part of, that are going to be a part of our Star Trek chapter that we're starting. A very new frontier. Venture for us. We're no stranger to all of that, but I'm going back to Starfleet International. I am still a card-carrying member of the Federation. The card was somewhere around here as I look for it. Trust me, I am. I'm still with the Federation, but I thought I would give this a try with my friends and bringing them aboard. So we have Bishop, who is trying out to be our tactical officer. Simon, who is
what up?
The science officer.
Science officer. And then our con officer, con as in helm and navigation, is going to Rob.
All right. A good pilot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can appreciate a good pilot. Hey, Taco Cat, what's going on, sir? All right, guys. Strange New Worlds has dropped 3 episodes. I binged watched all 3 episodes today. And some of the characters that I thought that I just couldn't stand, I started remembering why I started liking them. The Khan descendant, I could not stand her. Then she fell in love with Kirk, and I started liking her. They've calmed her character down a lot, so I can really appreciate the character now. Nurse Chapel got to go. I can't stand Chapel. I'm not a big Spock fan, but she hurt Spock. Yep. I don't like that. I don't like it. Don't like it. I still think Pike is a little bit emotional. Seems like he cries a little bit too much for me. Captain Kirk would never cry. Not like that. I mean, it seemed like, I get it. They want to show the softer side of men. I get that, and it's okay to cry, but you can't have that luxury as a starship captain. It's just, but I was excited, super excited to see everything that was going on, and we're going to save that Terlane episode for the last. But Admiral, your thoughts on these first 3 episodes?
Well, I really, really enjoyed the first episode. I watched the season before the last episode just so I can get a reminder course, basically, of what was going on. And I really enjoyed it. It was kind of a little scary at times, They kind of came together. Pike didn't stare at the monitor screen. So I kind of like how they kind of switched that off. I think they heard us when it came to, why he was staring at that with that stupid expression on his face. So I really enjoyed this episode. Second episode, that was okay. And that third episode, I thought that was pretty good. But overall, I actually watched it again today to be like, okay. So hopefully they'll keep up with this positive, like I said, in that second episode. But it was good. It was good. They need to keep that up in Star Trek.
Now, somebody's mic is peaking. Okay. All right. So that episode where Amenga was facing off. Spoiler alert for those of you who have not watched any of that. turn off your stuff now. Do not go further because I'm spoiling everything. I give it to you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So when Amenga faces off with that Klingon, I loved his speech. He has killed so many Klingons. He doesn't keep, from the houses and all that other stuff. I just thought that was like epic the way he said that. I did, however, get a little tired of every time that it was a foe or that it was a woman. I feel like, are there no more men left in Star Trek? Are we just going to really downplay that? And every time we have a villain or something like that, we're going to have this we had the Klingon daughter. She goes out like a champ. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I just feel like there's this lack of male presence. You know what I mean? I didn't kind of care for that, on that end of it. She was awesome. I love the way she died. I thought that was cool, where she sacrificed everything and, she's going to go out the way she's going to go out.
Yeah.
Bishop, give us your thoughts here.
Well, I haven't seen season 3 yet. I'm taking my time because I'm trying to get into this new Trek, but this new Trek ain't trekking. There's no military structure. Everybody wants to jump up and speak when they got something to say. And
okay, so again, wait a minute, whoa. So you don't know that because there's a lot of changes going on in season 3.
That third episode.
Well, no, I'm just saying I haven't seen that yet because I haven't seen.
I know, so you can't say that
it's
not doing this, it's not
I'm
doing
just
that.
saying,
Well, I'm
in
telling
general,
you, for the first 2
okay.
episodes, 2 seasons, yes. This third episode, that stuff gets cut out, bro.
By number 1.
Okay, well, listen, I'm looking forward to
By
it.
number 1, not by the captain, though.
Yeah, not by the captain, but number 1, she starts to get in people's shit. So
yeah.
All right,
but
just go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, just overall speaking, as how I feel about the show, it's better than Discovery. I will definitely say that.
Oh, no doubt.
That Pike, I don't. Well, I liked Anson Mount before he became Pike. So, but seeing him take
Hell
on
on
this
Wheels.
role, I mean, yeah, Hell on Wheels, a great show. But yeah, seeing him in this role, I love him as Pike. I mean, he's got big shoes to fill, especially after Bruce Greenwood. And I just love the way he looks in the uniform.
Jeffrey Hunter, maybe, but Bruce Greenwood, he's better voice acting Batman than he was Pike.
I just like the way his mannerisms were. So.
Okay. Well, look.
But,
all right. I'm going. Look, you ain't even seen the show.
I know. I ain't seen. No. I've seen the show.
disappointed.
I just haven't seen season 3 yet.
Okay. So then again, we're talking about season 3. We're not even talking about the other seasons.
Okay. Well, I was
disappointed.
No, I honestly thought we were just talking about Strange New Worlds as a show. I didn't know we was talking about season 3.
Well, we've already done seasons 1 and 2.
Okay.
You been? I'll get back to you later.
I ain't got to say that.
Yeah. Squadron leader.
I just been binge watching it since I got home from work today. I started off with last season's final episode to get into this season's first episode. Still don't like his hesitation that he had with the Gorn. It just wasn't captaining to me. And the way he's always asking for everybody's opinion, like he can't come up with one of his own, kind of irks me. He's not decisive, but it was still a good story. And I liked how they worked the Gorn's metabolism into everything and showed us part we'd never seen before. Didn't make it to episode 3.
Okay, I mean that's good though.
Yeah.
Let's touch on that because the inside of the Gorn ship blew my mind because I'm like, what do we got? Some alien stuff going on over here? What? You know? And then they started telling you more about
It reminded me of the Matrix and the batteries.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I was impressed with that, but it was. I think still it's in manga. That's really impressing me. You know what I mean? As a character, I remember him from the original series, and you know when you look at this show, you have to look at it as not a continuation before the old shows. You know what I mean? Don't look at it like this. Look at it as this is the new modern Trek as a reboot and take it from there, where they're taking elements from the old show and giving you this, and you'll enjoy it a hell of a lot better than trying to make it fit into over, 60 years of canon? 60 years, right? 66?
In my mind, I'm just trying to make them fit to their character when they were in the cage.
Yeah, you really can't do that either because, you know.
Yeah, that's what's really throwing me, is trying to do that.
Well, I mean, they touched on the cage because he's already had that premonition of what's going to happen to him. So he knows it's coming.
Yeah.
But again, they did a lot of course correction because I'm sitting here going like, oh God, here we go. And finally somebody said something. And that last, man, I'm telling you, when number one sat there and said, you know, we can't have this again. You do understand that, don't you? This is the last time that you can pop off like that. I was like, all right, finally, we got some, you know, some cojones here. We got somebody that's really gonna pull something out. Again, though, it seemed like every time I turned around, especially with Pike's character in love and he's getting ready to cry and she's the strong one holding his face and everything. I'm like, really? You're a starship cat? What's going on? I don't like that. I rarely see any type of woman with a crying man. You know, I don't see it. You know what I mean? I just don't.
Especially a strong one like she was.
Oh yeah.
You know.
And it's happening to her.
Yeah. So I was really kind of taken back by that little part, you know, with him doing that. You know what I mean? It seemed
I liked how she said when he came to the planet, you did wrong. You shouldn't have came for me. Indicating that she would have left his ass there.
Well, look, it's always been said, you know, you can't justify one person over your crew.
Yeah.
Not, you know, I mean, we get into that familiarity of camaraderie, and yes, it's been done. I mean, Star Trek started out in 1966. The dynamics of things were different. They had these World War II and Korean War writers on the show. Okay, so they understood military this and that. Now you just have people who have no military background writing these shows, and they're just trying to tell you a story, and they're just putting it in the confines of Star Trek. Seeing Spock with his shirt off more times than I can ever remember Leonard Nimoy taking off his shirt kind of threw me. And I get it. You're doing it the eye candy for the ladies.
But don't they have something called military consultants? I mean,
should.
after all the wars and skirmishes that the United States has been in since the 60s, You trying to tell me that there's no military writers or consultants out there that they could bring on board?
I'm telling you this: when the department heads start up these shows, and they tell you, "I don't want you to read any of the comic book material. I don't want you to go back and watch any of the shows. We're putting our own spin on these shows." Why would we need a military consultant?
And that's why they get the comments they do get from the fans.
Okay, and I'm not here to debate you on that point, because I'm one of those fans that if it's crap, it's crap. I'll turn it off. But at the same time, you got to remember that this ain't 1966 no more. This is not 1992. This is not 1987 or 86 when the Next Generation came out. Our times are different, and they reflect the stories that are different. Okay, so you have that dynamic. But again, if it's good storytelling, you won't notice certain things. It's when certain things that bothered me were, like I said, here's Pike, and there's nothing with a man crying in front of his woman. I'm not a captain of a starship responsible for 400 something people either. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't have that luxury of doing, I can't lose you. I can't do you don't have that luxury. And she definitely had no qualms telling her, "Oh, you won't. I'm right here." But she was the strong one.
Yeah.
I'm okay with strong women, just don't shove it down my throat.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because you get on that bridge, there's only Spock, and then there's only Pike, and everybody else around them are women. Now you're going to say, hey, Uhura was like that. Okay, that was 1966. It ain't 1966 anymore. And another thing I'm getting tired of is, why are all black people Klingons and other alien races? I'm really getting tired of seeing that. I saw that thing from Starfleet Academy, the Jem'Hadar, that's definitely a black woman, and the Klingon is black.
Yeah.
I'm all for diversity, but they don't need headgear every time they come on.
Yeah.
So I'm a little disappointed in that.
I'm all for diversity. Why is there more women in Starfleet than men?
Maybe men don't want to go to space no more.
Well, then they should have. Well,
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Look. Even the females and the aliens. There's more female aliens than male aliens.
Speaking as a Captain Kirk type character, more female aliens don't bother me. Don't bother me. Okay, are they blue? That's all I. You know what I'm saying? But I would like to see. I'm like the Kirk series they're talking about, right? They're talking about a Captain Kirk series. Is the bridge going to be mostly men with only Uhura on there, or are they going to change the dynamic to that? You see what I'm saying? So you can have it this way on this one, but if we come up there and Sulu's a female and Chekhov is a female, and then there's only Spock and Kirk up there, and then Bones is non-binary.
Binary?
I'm just not going to be there. I just don't want all that. I don't want all that. I just want a good story with my characters the way they were. They were designed a certain way, keep them a certain way. That's all I'm saying. But we've saved the youngest for last. He is one of the big Next Generation fans and DS9 fans. So, a mentor, which is your role-playing name. What did you think? Simon. That's your cue, Simon. Okay. Oh. Oh. I did. I think I did.
Yeah,
bad, Spock.
yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yep, you muted all the white people. Talking about diversity. You muted me, and yeah, you did. Don't act like you didn't. Don't act like you didn't.
Look. You're ginger, so you're not white.
I was like, I wonder when he's gonna notice. I wonder when he's gonna notice. I'm gonna be so pissed if we go through this
No, because we had
entire
that
show.
echo. Look, we had that echo with the
Yeah,
mic.
I know that's why
it
you
was
did
you.
it. Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
and then, oh my
Uh-huh.
God.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. The first episode, I thought it was weird how everyone's hair was so off. That really hit me really weird. I was like, okay, this is weird. And then I realized, oh, it was because of the how long it's been since they filmed the previous episode. And yeah, there was a lot of action in the first episode. I liked it. I thought it was kind of weird with the whole the Gorn and the light putting them to sleep. I'm like, but they're in spaceships. Why? How does that make sense? I'm like, okay, as humans we have seasons, but the seasons don't affect us anymore once we're in space because we're in spaceships. I thought that was kind of weird. And then you have episode 2, and Nurse Chapel really pissed me off.
Oh Lord.
I was like, how can you do that to him? But then I was relieved because, he was not in a relationship with her during the original series. So I was like, you know what? I'm fine with that, with them ending that. But I'm like, really? You did him that dirty? Because a lot of guys have been in that position where the lady's like, well, let's just take a break. Let's just take a break. And then, oh, you see them again in a few months and they've got a new guy. I can't tell you how many times I've actually seen that. I'm like, okay, that's real. That makes sense. And then we have the whole not really Q but Trelane situation. I know there's a lot of people out there that want to think that was Q.
no, he's cute. He's cute.
And I know
He's
there was a
cute.
lot of people that were dropped on their head as children.
He's cute.
And they think they know what they're talking about.
You found out he was part of Q.
No. That's what they want to believe.
But,
I
see,
totally understand that.
And like a true Marvel fan that cannot accept defeat.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. There's some things that just don't make any sense.
I agree.
And you know what? I could accept that he was what we know as Q, his son, because the whole timeline they can go back and forth. They can go back and forth. And like in Voyager, he had a son. So if that was his son, I might be able to accept that. But until they actually say that, I don't know.
Oh, come on. That's like
did that the Great Barrier was actually Q when he was dispatched into it, and Trelane was his offspring from that.
What?
Like that fan fiction mess. Come on.
It's the Leonard Nimoy books, the ones he wrote.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I didn't even know Leonard Nimoy wrote books.
Shatner wrote some books too, and you know what?
Oh,
he came back alive.
I love
he
the
came
Shatner
back alive
books.
with Cisco, and I'm like, you know what? No, that was just Shatner being.
Well, Shatner didn't write that. He wrote the Farewell of the Enterprise, and then he wrote where he comes back from the Romulans using the Ark, and then he wrote the thing about Spock with Spock's father with Bendai, and then Spock had gotten infected with Bendai, and then it gets weird because the girl that he was in love with, they had a child, and it was part Romulan and part this, and it was bird-like. And matter of fact, Paramount said you can't do that because they were calling him Shinzon, like they were calling from the last movie that killed Star Trek.
Okay. All right. So, but I've got a question for all of you. Me and my mom were talking about this when we watched this episode. She picked up right away. She thinks La'an has something for Spock. Like they were gonna have, when they were doing that salsa dancing, she picked something up, and I'm like, I kind of didn't really see it. I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna try to say that she has feelings for him, but he might.
I
not
don't know.
reciprocate.
I think that's a little too soon after the Kirk thing.
Well, I did notice that myself, that it
Yeah.
seemed like she was kind of like, hey, you're supposed to be on a break. Don't
Yeah.
think about her.
And you know what? She could die because we never hear about her in any other of the other series or movies. So they could have something and then they can kill her off before anything else. So I'm thinking it is possible about that.
Well, we're only getting the next season, and it's going to be cut in half.
Mm.
Everybody wants Spock. I don't want Spock. I want him to put his shirt on.
I think they
There
showed
was
him to be
definitely much
too
shirt
emotional.
business.
There was a little bit too much Spock walking around there for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He took the William Shatner equivalent because like there was like quite a few episodes where Kirk is off without a shirt on, and I'm like, look here, I like you, but come on now, put that shirt back on.
Yeah.
But I do think interesting. I do think I think she was just kind of trying to help a friend out of a situation. That's one thing that I did notice here. The women are all in the driver's seat.
Yes.
And the men are kind of clueless.
Both literally
About just
and
about
metaphorically.
everything.
Yeah.
Uhura was trying to hit on Erica's brother.
I thought that was funny. I thought that was hilarious.
You know what? I like Uhura with some hair. That was kind of cool that she had her little thing going on.
I didn't like some of the hair choices that they chose for her, but in that one scene when she and Ortega's brother were kind of flirting, but they were mostly flirting just to mess with her, and I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Now, my only other thing is Ortega needs to go. I do like I'm so and so. I'm Erica Ortega, and I fly the ship. That's all cool.
I like how they finally addressed.
Number one, put her back in her place, though.
Yes, her insubordination was really showing.
Can't stand.
I mean, me and you both talked about that. We did not like how she was just so free in what she was saying on the bridge, and they finally addressed it.
When she was in the dinner with Pike, and she stood up, and and then number one's Chris, say something. I'm like, yeah, because no. Picard damn sure wouldn't have put up with it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You would not embarrass Jean-Luc Picard at no dinner.
Bro did it all the time.
They would have never done that in the first place, though. The crew did it too many times to Pike, so they thought it was okay. You know, at one time or another, I think all of them have done it to him. So he's the one that kind of need to man up, so to speak, and say, hey, look, I'm the captain, I'm in charge, and you can't talk to me like that. I mean, it's good, number one, family did, and if you look at, a lot of times in Next Gen, Riker kind of was always the one that kind of pulled the people to the side and say A, B, C, D before even Captain. Picard did. They just knew they couldn't do that to Captain Picard.
Yeah.
I totally agree, because if it was me, you can find yourself in the quarters. The security will escort you to the brig after they find you in your quarters. Bye. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Just like when Kira tried to check Cisco in season 1, and she went above him to the Admiral, and he let her know, the next time you go over my head, you're going to see yours on a platter. And I was like,
I remember.
Yes. And I was like, yep, that's exactly.
Well, look, guys, I hate to cut this short, but we kind of got our introduction into this.
Yep.
Now we're
I've
going to
gotta go to bed.
suspend. Yeah, we're going to suspend our normal TNG things. We're going to ride this out next gen. You guys are more than welcome to join the Admiral and myself. We encourage it. If you watch the episodes before you come on to this show, Bishop, I give him a hard time, but I love him.
I know you're not talking about me.
So, guys, look, so, guys, stay tuned. This is my crew. We're joining Starfleet International, and we're forming a chapter along with the Kitty Hawk. So please stay with us, watch us grow, watch what we do, because I'm telling you, we will be something to watch in a few months from now. Admiral, anything else you'd like to say before we close out the show?
No, I do appreciate everyone joining us tonight. Definitely, do it again, because these new episodes are really interesting. It's kind of nice to watch it, and none of us actually have seen it before, where the other series we've seen it and blah blah blah. This really seems really fresh, these episodes. Even if you don't like it or you do like it, it's fresh. It's nice seeing it for the first time. So please join us again.
All right, and with that, I will just say Kapla.